But this dude, because he's special and has money, he gets to go to Club Fed.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Is anyone surprised that millionaires and billionaires do whatever the fuck they want? Like, I'm not surprised. They even get special prisons. Like, I'm a capitalist. I don't care if you're a millionaire or a billionaire, right? Like, I don't care. But if you are affecting society in a negative way, if you are hurting society by being a billionaire or a millionaire, if you are making the collective worse, then there is an issue, and I don't agree with it. Like, I am not an individualistic. I think about America as a whole. We're all Americans. I'm like some Europeans and Asian countries. I don't think just about myself. I think about everyone. What's best for all of us as Americans. Like this type of shit right here that millionaires and billionaires get, they get fucking special prisons where they can do whatever they want, but all of the poor people get shitty prisons, and these guys get nice gardens and refrigerators and nice shit that they can use. They get nice jobs. And are you kidding me? Just because you're rich, you get a fucking prison like this? Put these people with the normal people, right, with the regular folk, where they belong. Put them in a regular prison. They deserve to be in a regular prison. They broke the law. They don't get special treatment because they have fucking money. This is insane. Let's check this out.
Anyone who has ever watched a documentary about prison life in the USA knows this. American prisons can be tough. There are fights, terrible food, and even...
This is how it's supposed to be when you go to prison. It's supposed to be tough. There's supposed to be, problems with the food. Like, you don't like the food. You're supposed to be miserable. That's the point of prison.
Prison gangs that brutally punish traitors and enemies. But did you also know that this only applies to regular criminals? Because while almost everywhere else in the world, even...
It applies to only regular criminals, so rich people aren't regular criminals when they break the law? So me as a middle class person, if I break the law, I'm a regular criminal. But if a fucking billionaire down the street breaks the law, he's not a regular criminal.
In authoritarian regimes like Saudi Arabia or North Korea, prisons do not differentiate between rich and poor, and every social class has to endure roughly the same prison conditions.
That's how it should be. But in a country like the United States, where everything is about money, right, and not about using your fucking brain, this is what you get. You get the poor get fucking stomped over, and the rich get whatever the fuck they want. How is this even... Like I said, I'm a capitalist. If you make money, it's yours. But you don't get special treatment. I don't care if you have $1 or $100 billion. We're both Americans. You both broke the law. We have a social contract that says if you break the law, you go to jail. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or only have $1 in your account. If you're black or white, gay or straight, you break the law, you go to prison, and you have to suffer for your crime. You don't just get to get special treatment because you sold $1 billion in, underwear. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Is not the case in the USA. For truly wealthy criminals, there is something unique in the world.
Bullshit.
An actual luxury prison. But what exactly does that mean? It's about the so-called minimum security prisons of America. Colloquially, these are also...
They even call them a club. It's a club. It's Club Fed, they call it. It's a club. You get towels, and you get a sauna, and you get fucking extra refrigerators and books, and you can get a job. Are you kidding me with this?
So-called Club Fed, a combination of the word Fed for federal, meaning state-run, and club in the sense of a country club. And that's not without reason, because life there really does resemble that in an exclusive resort or a summer camp rather than that in a prison. And the most famous and luxurious Club Fed is FCI Otisville in New York.
The most luxurious Club Fed. This is a prison? These people are actually suffering for their crimes. You got to understand that rich people, when they go to jail, they're usually in jail for financial crimes. You know what that means? They usually scam poor people and middle class people out of their money. That's usually what happens. They have a Ponzi scheme, or they screw people in the stock market, and millions of, middle class, lower middle class, and poor lose their money. They lose their investments, their retirement, the money that they worked hard as fuck for their whole life gets scammed and taken from them by some of these rich people. I'm a middle class guy. I'm a capitalist. I believe if you make your money, you can keep it. I don't care if you're rich, but I am a middle class guy and I fight for the middle class. Okay. And so this is insane. And a lot of these rich people, they're in prison for financial crimes. That's a fact. Most of them are in jail for financial crimes, and they steal from us in the middle class, and they put us on the street through Ponzi schemes and shit. And then they get to go to Club Fed. They get to go to Club Fed and swim in their pool at their country club.
How different things are there is already shown in the morning, because just like in other US prisons, the day for inmates there does start early, specifically at 6 in the morning with wake up, but not in a cramped cell. For the roughly 115 prisoners, there are several buildings with large open dormitories and comfortable beds arranged around a spacious green area, almost like in a summer camp, as you can see in this aerial shot. After wake up, breakfast is served in a relaxed manner, and this too is completely different from what you'd expect in a normal prison, because there, mostly organic food ends up on the plate.
They get to get organic food. They get healthy, good, delicious organic food. And the middle class and poor get slop and dog food to eat. Is this right? Is this the kind of country that we live in? Is this that people get special privilege, that they're above the law, right? And they get special privileges because they have money? Is this the kind of society we want?
Anyone who wants can even order food from outside. That would be unthinkable in a regular US prison where there's...
They can order food from outside? Oh my God, dude.
Only one standardized, unappetizing meal, sometimes even made from leftovers. In Club Fed, however, there aren't just organic dishes. For preparation and storage, inmates also have microwaves and refrigerators at their disposal, which they can freely use. Prisoners can also safely store their personal belongings in their own lockable lockers. After breakfast, it's time for work, because yes, even in Club Fed, there is a work obligation for inmates. However, the jobs there are much more relaxed than in other prisons. Most of the tasks involve maintaining the park-like grounds, such as mowing the lawn or trimming the bushes.
What if they instituted this in normal prisons, where they actually tried to rehabilitate people and put them together, have like mental health sessions, like psychiatry, talk to someone, they get relaxed jobs where they can relax and get out more, they can read, they can have good food, right? They do this in certain countries around the world. They give them pets, they're allowed like cats and stuff, and it helps them like nurture themselves and become less violent and relaxed. Like there's things that you can do. That's why that when these like out of these normal prisons, when people get out, they go right back to crime, because we're not actually trying to rehabilitate them. Do I think they need to be in jail to suffer for their crimes? Yes, but we want them to get out and be somewhat normal again. So you don't want to treat them like absolute dogs unless they're like the ones that are in there for like murder or like horrible things. But the ones that are not, like there should be some kind of help to get them rehabilitated to come out on their, on the other side. But these people, I mean, look at this.
Inmates also take care of the prison's vegetable garden and greenhouse, cultivating the organic produce.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, the people that did absolute horrible crimes, like killing, doing bad things, they should be absolutely suffer for the rest of their life. I don't care how they're treated, to be honest. But the rest of them that are actually going to get out, they should have jobs like this or have, be rehabilitated in some way,
later be cooked into delicious meals in the kitchen. Work is carried out from 7:30 in the morning until 11, and then it's already time to relax again over lunch. While in most other prisons, the old rule, you eat what's put on the table, applies.
Look at that.
In
They're getting
Otisville,
like ribs and steaks and shit.
things are completely different because there is a restaurant where inmates can put together their favorite meal. Particularly popular alongside the homegrown organic vegetables are gefilte fish, a traditional Jewish fish specialty, and soups with matzo balls. As exclusive as this may sound, there is one catch with this great culinary offering. Unlike in other prisons, the wealthy inmates have to pay for every meal. However, matzo balls cost only $3.
Oh, wow. They have to pay for every single meal, unlike the poor in middle class prison. They don't give a fuck. They're rich. They'll pay for the food. All right? They have money. That's why they're in this club fed. Like, this is not a punishment. Like, I'm sorry, but they should at least have the same treatment. If these people get to eat whatever they want, the regular people get to eat whatever they want. If everyone's supposed to live in shitty conditions, absolute shit conditions in normal prisons, so should they. Like, there should be no special treatment.
And 15 cents, and gefilte fish is just $1.50 per portion.
Oh
These
God.
prices are really no problem at all
Look at him.
for
He's
anyone
My life is amazing in prison. I'm in Club Fed.
serving time in Otisville. Because almost without exception, all the prisoners there are wealthy criminals. Many of them are affluent businessmen, lawyers, stock traders, or even celebrities. The prison even has one of the highest millionaire densities in all of America. Among the most well-known men currently serving time in Otisville, or who have been housed there in recent years, is, for example, Michael Cohen, the former lawyer of Donald Trump.
Yeah, this scumbag gets to live in an amazing prison compared to normal people. This scumbag right here. Really? This dude, this pathetic liar and con man, this dude gets to live in Club Fed?
Who organized hush money payments to prevent negative reports about the president. He was sentenced to 3 years in Otisville for multiple counts of tax fraud and perjury before Congress.
If I, as a middle-class normal dude, if I committed tax fraud and I lied in front of Congress, I'd be doing 20 years in the hole in some garbage federal prison, being, like beaten to death every day. But this dude, because he's special and has money, he gets to go to Club Fed.
In the luxury prison, he even enjoyed one of the largest private cells in the entire facility.
Look at the bed they get. Look at the beds they get. Look at the beds they get. Why do they get this? Because they're rich? How are they more special than me? How are they better than me? These guys are not better than me. They're not better than me. They just have money. This is bullshit, dude.
And when the coronavirus broke out just 1 year after his imprisonment began, he was simply allowed to leave prison early and serve the remaining 2 years of his sentence at home with an ankle bracelet.
Oh my
Reality
God,
TV
dude.
star and millionaire Mike The Situation Sorrentino, who you may know from the show Jersey Shore, also served time there a few years ago. 8 months for tax evasion. Just like the former governor of...
As I mentioned, if I committed tax fraud and tax evasion, they'd put me under the jail. They'd send me to some max security prison in gangland in completely unsafe conditions, shitty food, sleeping on the floor or in the hole. But this dude, the Jersey Shore guy, because he's famous and has money, he gets to go to Club Fed.
Connecticut, John Rowland.
Are we all Americans or are we not? Are we all the same or are we not? Is there a class that's better than the other class or there isn't? Are we all the same?
who was convicted of corruption. As a Republican, he was later even personally pardoned by Donald Trump. Businessman Billy McFarland, who organized the Fire Festival in 2017,
I remember this fraud.
a music festival announced as a luxury event, but which ultimately turned out to be a scam.
Dude, people died and was sexually violated at this event because of this fraud. Like people got sick. Some young kids were there and got, people did bad things to them, right? And this dude gets to go to Club Fed. He put people in a dangerous situation that spiraled out of control. And there were kids there abused. And he gets to go to Club Fed.
And about whose fraud even a Netflix documentary was made, served nearly 4 years in Otis.
This dude should be put under the jail. In the worst prisons with the worst people. Not in Club Fed.
Despite having defrauded people of over $27 million. The fact that 4 years in Otisville don't really represent a harsh punishment is also shown by the afternoon program. Otisville offers a remarkable range of activities with which one can leisurely pass the day.
Bro. They have tennis courts and basketball courts.
Those who enjoy sports will find an outdoor basketball court, a large baseball field, and even several tennis courts. Even for more relaxed sports, special areas have been set up in the outdoor section of this rich men's prison. Those who prefer indoor exercise.
This is so infuriating. This shit is so pathetic. This is so disgusting that our country does this. We are such pathetic as a society.
Can do so in an air-conditioned fitness room with various cardio machines. And anyone who wants to relax with a good read can simply go to the prison's library, where the latest bestsellers are available. Most of the inmates, however, spend their free time simply outside in the sun, having interesting conversations with their...
In a regular prison, they only have specific time that they can go outside. I think it's an hour or two. These guys can just sit outside all fucking day, whenever they want. They can just hang out outside at the tennis court all day. But people in regular prisons, they get 2 hours outside. How is this fair? How is this fair?
Fellow prisoners. There are no violent offenders in Club Fed, so among the inmates who all come from the upper echelon...
I don't care if there's no violent offenders in Club Fed. These people cause misery and pain. When you take money from people, when you defraud people, middle class, lower class, and poor, when you take their retirement because you're a scam artist, people commit suicide. You know how many people killed themselves because of these guys? How many lives were ruined because of these guys? Just because they're not violent offenders doesn't mean they should be put in the worst possible prison. When you steal millions of dollars from old people in retirement that's about to retire, they lose all their retirement funds because you were a scam artist in the stock market or you're a scam financial advisor, and they get to go to Club Fed.
Of society, there is a relaxed coexistence. The biggest worry for many prisoners is rather being photographed by paparazzi, because even though it sounds incredible, the prison actually has no walls. There are only signs that say you are now outside the prison grounds. And
they have no walls. They can literally walk out and leave if they want to. They can't leave. They'll be arrested again, but they could if they wanted to. There's no walls.
Precisely for this reason, photographers on the nearby road repeatedly try to snap pictures of the famous inmates.
This is disgusting.
There is only a yellow line around the grounds which prisoners are not allowed to cross. This problem is likely unique to Otisville because although there are quite a few of these luxury prisons in the USA,
rich people should not have more privilege than us in anything. Fuck them. Right? They're not better than us just because they sold, underwear or cell phone cases or whatever it may be to become millionaires and billionaires. They're not better than us. They just sold things or started a business and they made money doesn't make them special or better in any way. So this is insane. This should not exist. Abolish rich people country prisons. Abolish them. We're all Americans. We're all the same. That's it. Period.